Oh, there's still one missing. I've just noticed. Jason, I forgot all about him.
Yeah. The only thing is I have my agenda on me.
Right, yeah, we are live now, Chairman.
Thank you. Right, I shall start. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Right, number one on the agenda is apologies for absence. Please, Vicky.
Councillor Aaron Lucarini and Councillor Dave Smith.
Thank you. Item number 2, declarations of pecuniary interest and request for dispensation. Anyone? Councillor Davison.
Number 4, Glenn Boyle is a friend.
Okay. Is there any more? No?
No.
Right, minutes of the previous meeting. May I sign these as a true record? All those in favour, please show.
Sorry, I've just got a query, Pat, on that.
Okay, yeah.
On the street naming, Dave made the remark that he didn't recognise those 3 names. He thought he was voting for Larry Kiernan to be involved in one of those names. On top of page 118, P20088.
Yeah.
The street naming.
Yeah, it was Suckling, Present Hall.
Yeah,
Road.
Suckling Hall and Maidment. I think he misunderstood. He went back to the recording and he heard that you said, should we agree on these 3 names? And he wasn't sure which 3 names it was in the end. I think he must have thought it was, but if you're happy that that's correct, then that's fine.
Yeah, it was said that, and I think he showed on an old council paper that we did agree to have Larry Kiernan's name on one of these roads.
Yeah, so he was querying why it was these 3 because he didn't think he was voting on those 3. He thought Larry Kiernan's name was involved.
Yeah.
Vicky, can you help me out here, Vicky?
Yeah, I noted that down, but I noted that there was a question on whether we should be having ex-councillors' names. And the ones I wrote down that were voted on were Suckling Crescent, Hall Road and Maidment something that was a bit vague.
Yeah, Crescent or Close.
Or Road, yeah.
Or Road.
So that's what I wrote down. I'm sorry if I didn't get that correct. There were councillor names mentioned, but I thought it was decided that we wasn't going to include those on these roads.
Well, we never voted on it. That's certain. It was. I think it was Councillor Brown who commented on it. I think that was the only one, but I don't think anything was said after that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think Dave said that in previous minutes we'd agreed last year or something that Larry Kiernan's name would be included. And I think that's what the point he'd made.
Well, I don't know how anyone feels on that. It's not too late to add another one, is it, Vicky?
I can send it off.
Okay. But does anyone want to speak on that? Whether we want that name included? Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I'm just against naming roads after councillors. It just doesn't seem the right thing to do to me personally. So yeah, I wouldn't vote for it. Yeah, and I know Larry's done some fantastic work, but just on principle, I just don't think it's a good idea. That's my own personal conviction on that one, and that doesn't matter who it is. I just I don't think it would sit well with the public either. I don't think, but that's just my personal view. Yeah,
there wasn't. We've had one before, and obviously we've had years ago, courts and people's homes, elderly people's homes, named after town clerks and people like that. I think the last one was, oh dear, what's his name? I can't get his name. I can't remember his name.
Les Ager.
Les Ager, that's it. Les Ager Close, was it? Was the last one. Councillor Burns?
Yeah, obviously I'm not in this committee, but I would agree with Tony. I think the problem is we're ignoring all the other good people of this town who do stuff for us, who have sadly passed away. Les Ager was not granted a road because he was a councillor. He was granted a road because of his involvement in things like the Silver Band. The council side of things was totally secondary to it. And I checked that up the other day by watching the video that I took of the time. And that was that, and his involvement with Centre Stage and all the other things that he did. So I don't think there's a precedent as such there. And I appreciate what you said about people like William Blake and, I'm trying to think of all the other ones. But of course, in the past, we've had things like Sherman Court, which although it's not a road, is a building, was named after, to do with military casualties. So I personally don't think, as much as, Larry and others, talk about Gordon Cox, for example, as much as people may or may not liked him, he worked hard for the town. And I do worry about excluding all those people, or not even giving them the chance to be included. All those people who have done good work for the town. That's my only personal view.
Is there anyone else on that? Councillor Smith?
Yeah, I think the point is, I think we had this discussion last year, and I was there. I remember the meeting. We did agree that we would include Larry Kiernan. I think it was after he'd passed away, was it? I can't remember. But we had agreed that we would include his name in one of the roads going forward. So, and that's the impression that Dave was under from the last meeting, that we'd agreed to go forward with that. But, whether we want to vote on it now or we can vote on it now, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we will vote on it now. Councillor Sitchcombe?
I'd just like to chip in that just because we do propose a councillor now and again isn't stopping other worthy people being put forward. I know it would be very easy to slip into the habit of always thinking of a noble councillor, but you can't have anyone much more noble than the person who set up the town council. Well, he didn't set it up single-handedly, obviously, but Larry was very instrumental, if I understand correctly, in the town council coming into being. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, obviously my memory's not that great, but I think for sure that it was the Conservative councillors that proposed Les Ager as a councillor, and because they was going on about him being mayor twice, if I rightly remember. I don't think it was for his band side of it. It was because he was a councillor. Right. Okay. I don't know how to take this. Whether obviously someone has got to put their hand up and propose something. So, Councillor Smith.
Colin.
Yeah, I propose we do include it if that's possible.
Sorry.
I said I propose we do include the name if that's possible now, this late date.
Can I have a seconder for that? Councillor Sitcombe? Right, all those in favour that we include Larry Keenan's name into the other three, please show. Right, 3. All those against, please show. 2. Okay, let's Larry Keenan's name included.
Chair, could it be possible for my name to be minuted that I voted against this, please?
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Cheers.
Anyone else? No? Right, okay. Right, go back to the agenda now. Oh, sorry, we go to I think it's a. So I've got to swap around. Go back to the agenda. Yeah, because I keep having to click.
We were going to agree the minutes, weren't we? Which we just
Yeah.
obviously not agreed.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually put hands up to show that we
No.
agree with that I signed the minutes, have we?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Okay. All those in favour, please show.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Right. The.
Sorry, can I have a proposer for that then? And a second,
Oh, yeah.
all in favour?
Right.
Tony,
Proposed
Alan.
Councillor Stitchcombe and seconded Councillor Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Item 4, matters arising from those minutes.
We've just done that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to go through them, Vicky. Okay.
Yeah.
Page by page, that's what I normally do. Page 117. Page 118, which had the street naming on. Page 119.
Right.
Yeah, Councillor.
There is an action, isn't there, under P20092. The clerk is shown as acting additional meetings to discuss blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the second, last paragraph of that. Yeah, Councillor suggested that clerk arrange additional meetings to discuss the town council response to consultation on the proposed government planning changes. The clerk suggests 2 dates at the end of August.
But that's been overtaken by events, hasn't it, in actual fact? So should we deem that as dealt with, actioned, not necessarily by the clerk, but it's been actioned one way or another?
Okay.
Well, I did send dates.
Oh, sorry.
I sent dates round, but then you put together the Gantt chart.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, the next one is 119. And last one is 120, which we objected to on parking. Right, okay, thank you very much. Let's get back to my minutes again, agenda again, I should say. Item 5, members of the public. Have we got any members of the public, Colin?
No, we don't. No.
Thank you. Item 6, to consider planning applications to West Suffolk Council. And which is DC 200615 RM. This is land north of Ann Suckling Lane. Submission of details, the means of access, appearance, landscaping, layout and scale of construction of 41 dwellings with associated private amenity space, means of enclosure, car parking, vehicle and access arrangements and drainage, together with proposed areas of landscaping and areas of open space for a residential development known as Phase 2A. We haven't got Stuart here at all, have we?
No, I sent his notes round twice. So I sent them when I had them, and then I refreshed your memory to send them tonight.
Yeah, okay.
So you should all have his notes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Does anyone want to speak on this? Anyone? I've got a few things on the sides of the houses. I must be working them out wrong, because they're way below standards if I had worked them out wrong on the size of them. Because the Carlton House, the first lot, 2 bedroom, and and they call it the third bedroom lifestyle room. And then they've got ones with study again, lifestyle and study. But this first one has got lifestyle stroke third bedroom. And they're tiny. I think there's only one on here where one lot of named houses that are, you know, the right size or above the minimum standard. I just can't understand what minimum space standards they call it. I must be working it out wrong because they're less than half the size. But as I say, I think I'm working that wrong. I must be, because if you look at the map, Vicky, can you share the maps?
Colin.
Or Colin, I should say, share the actual room sizes.
Well, have I got that paperwork? I would need to have somebody need to send it across. I can try. I can let Vicky share, can't I? Sorry. Right.
The only thing that
You
I've
can
got
share it now, Vicky.
is the planning application. I don't have the maps. I'd have to go on.
Well, it's not the map. It's the planning application, room sizes and what have you.
Vicky, you can go on my website. They're all there. So the one that Pat's talking about at the moment, which I think was Carleton or something. Yeah,
well, there's as I say, there's Hopton is the first one that comes up at the top.
Popper.
Hopton, Hopton.
Okay, I'm looking at Carlton, Barton Corner, Coniston, Derwent.
John, how do I get on your website? Sorry.
So johnburns.com/planning.
johnburns.com.
I've got them in front of me. If you want, if I'm able to share, I don't know if I'm able to.
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Okay, let's have a look.
It's the top one, but first one, Liz. It's called Hopton.
Yeah, but they'll be differently ordered, Pat, on the West Suffolk site that you've been looking at, and on John's site they'll be in a different order. So, and there are two Hoptons. There's amended plots 25 and 26, and there's just plain plots 25 and 26.
Can you see my screen at the moment?
No.
No.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. But that's the Hopton. I think that was one of the amended ones.
I can't see it.
No.
Can anyone else see it?
Yeah.
I can see it. It's fine.
Well,
I don't know why you can't, Pat.
No, unless I need to shrink this somehow. I don't know.
This Hopton one has got a large second bedroom because it's got 2 single beds in it. This is one of the Hoptons. Which I think
if you look down, go down, you can see the side. There's on the left-hand side. You'll see the size of the actual house. The left and at the top. It gives you the measurements in millimetres.
Oh, it doesn't on this one. Perhaps I'm looking at the different one. Let's go back.
It should give you the actual. You know, it gives you shows a picture of the actual house, and then underneath, if you scroll down, it should give you the rooms.
It gives you the rooms, but it doesn't give you the measurements, I don't think.
I think it does on the left-hand side one. The one on the left-hand side, it's only one of them, it does.
5175, I don't know if that means...
Yeah, that's
5 metres.
5 metres. So the length of the house, or the width of the house is 5 metres, just over 5 metres.
Yeah, 5 point... It's
5 point whatever.
Is it 51 metres?
5.175.
5.1 metres. It's not one of the smallest I've seen. I know which ones you mean, the ones that are 3 bedroom. If I go to 3 bedroom ones, I think it was Carlton, wasn't it? This one. Was it these ones? Yeah, they've got lifestyle room there on the Carlton. Doesn't give the measurements on this one, I don't think. But they look quite narrow houses. Are you there, Pat, or we lost him?
There are some measurements.
Yeah.
I think we may have lost the chair.
Okay.
Vice Chair.
Hello.
Tony, you're taking over.
Okay.
Does anyone want me to share any more of these documents on here? I've got them all up in a list here.
Yeah. So if John, if you can measure them, what's your opinion on the size of them?
Well, Carlton is 4.1 metres wide.
Yeah.
But there is no depth.
All right.
Let me look at the other plans there. No, and they definitely got a lifestyle room with a kitchen diner below, which is a lifestyle room. It's a study, basically.
Yeah. But I've noticed they've put them on the layout plan as 3 bedrooms, when in fact they're not. They're 2 bedroom plus a study.
Yeah, well, don't forget that this particular applicant, when they did the 200 homes phase 1, they made a load of houses with lifestyle room. And I know Highways, although they haven't objected this time, were not very happy because they said, well, they can be converted into bedrooms, and lifestyle rooms do not require parking.
Yes.
Mm.
So it looks to me like this might be a similar situation.
Yes.
Okay.
But sorry about this. My laptop froze. I'm on my phone now. But as I say, the size of the houses, unless I didn't hear, I don't know if someone has worked it out, but the size of the houses are tiny. So I wouldn't know the size of the rooms. There's nothing on there about the size of the rooms.
I think John just said one of them is 4 metres wide.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not looking at your picture, I'm looking at my PDF on my screen, sorry.
Yeah.
The Carlton, or whatever it's called, is 4 metres wide by about 9 metres deep.
See if I can find that one.
And remember, it's over 3 floors.
If you times that, and then I can, I've got the minimum. I've got it in my phone now.
36, 72, plus another about 100 and something, about 100 meters, square meters. Is that right? Because it's 3 floors, Pat, remember?
They're quite tall, narrow ones, aren't they?
But these minimum size standards, is that how you do it then? Is that what I'm missing out? I'm just doing 1 floor, measuring 1 floor, and you have to times it by 3. Yeah. Is that why it is?
Yeah, you can't sort of say, you can't just say it's 36 square meters because on a 2 or 3 bedroom house, because of course that's not correct, is it? What you need to do is look at the individual rooms and decide whether or not they're big enough or not.
Yeah, but minimum size, you got minimum size standard as a whole house as well, because they give you different, like ones with 5 persons house, 2 floors, and they give you the total.
Yeah.
If you look on there, but as I say, I didn't know how to work these particular ones out. As far as minimum size standards is concerned, I knew I was doing something wrong on it because, as I say, my calculations were way out.
I mean, when you were off, Pat, I was saying these lifestyle rooms. This is what they did on phase 1, where they sorry, I can't see it. In this particular case, it's showing as 2 bedrooms plus a lifestyle room. It's not shown as a 3-bedroom, but there's nothing to stop somebody converting that lifestyle room into another bedroom.
Yeah.
And the parking goes all the way because you're supposed to have 2 parking spaces for a 3-bedroom house.
Yes. See, they've got 4-bedroom houses with 2 parking spaces, for instance.
Yeah.
Because they show it as a 3-bedroom plus
lifestyle.
Lifestyle, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, personally, I don't mind the lifestyle because I think that's what people need. But I'm really concerned about being able to convert these things into bedrooms. And then 5 years later, we're all getting residents complaining, "Oh, you never allowed enough parking."
Yeah.
When you look at the overall plan, it does show them as 3 beds, like this one, for example. It shows it as a 3-bed, whereas it's got 2 bedrooms and a lifestyle room. So it's got the number of parking spaces applicable to that, I believe, when I was looking at the layout plans.
Okay, I haven't looked at those. Planning layout. Okay.
Does anyone want me to show the layout plans, or you okay?
Yeah. What are these Carlton's? Was it? Yeah, 2, 3, and 4. That's right.
Yeah. So.
It's near the top, Liz.
Yeah, this layout plan was the one that I thought showed it quite well. Because it's got the different accommodations and the relevant parking spaces and that up here on the corner. Shows you which were the housing association ones and that.
Yeah. So they're showing Carlton as 3-bedroom, 5 persons, 91 square meters. Well, I said about 100.
Yeah.
And 2 parking spaces.
Yeah, 3 beds, parking, two parking spaces.
Looking at that, they've all got just 2 parking spaces, haven't they?
Some of them have got garages with them. Some of them up here, single garage plus 1, single garage plus 2 for the 4 beds.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're meeting minimal standards there.
I only saw it. Sorry.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting how they'd laid it out with they're showing here the green is the shared ownership, and then the red was the rented.
Yeah. But it's interesting, in the whole of these 40-odd properties, there's only 2 visitor parking spaces.
Mm.
Unless anyone can see more down the bottom left-hand side.
They've got a couple of visited ones, haven't they?
Yeah, but that's on the left. That's but 2 out of all those parking spaces.
But these 2 here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my one. Sorry, I'm looking at the colour. But yeah, those ones. Unless you can see any others, but I can't see any others.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Yes, and there's no real overflow, is there? Because if you've got a 3-bedroom house, there's likelihood. I know what highways say, but 3-bedroom house, you potentially could have 3 cars.
Mm.
And there's actually, there are some bits of this part down the bottom. There's some more, 3, 4, and 5, just above, just opposite that junction to phase 2B.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, some more up the top there. So I'm seeing them now. Sorry, I've just zoomed in massively.
Here, yeah.
There's some more up top, 10 so far I've found. I'm doing them in injustice. There are 10 by the looks of things.
Still not a lot, really.
No, quite big back gardens.
Yeah, that's one good thing about it, that the back gardens are pretty good. Obviously, there's a problem with some of the parking spaces as far as charging is concerned. They'll have to have a wire going across a little road, some of them.
Part of the tandem as well. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going back to the Hopton house size. If you double that, that'd be 80 square meters, which and the minimum size standard is 79. So it's just over.
Yeah,
it's just over the minimum size standard on the Hopton. But there is one that's a free story one with, and it's really peculiar. It's really but you have to treble that, don't you? You have to, yeah, you have to 3 times that, times 3, I mean.
Well, the Carlton one or Carleton one, Pat, is, I think it says it's 90. What's it say here? It's 91 square meters.
Where did you find that, John? Because I've
on that chart or that map that you've got on screen now.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
Can you see where I'm pointing to?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
I don't know whether you can zoom in at all. Can you?
Yeah, I can. I've got it on my laptop come up again now.
Because you're looking at it on the website.
Zoom in a bit.
Just, yeah.
There's a plus sign. Go keep going up. Go up. Up. Go outside the picture.
Yeah.
Go left. No, right. No. Go back to middle. Keep going right. Up a bit. Right.
Bernie the bolt.
That's it. Left.
That one.
No, there's a plus
that
sign.
One.
There.
Sorry.
Oh.
Can you see it okay now? Let's just get it to go that way.
Click.
That's 91.
Bit more, Liz, please. Oh, that's
Can you
it.
see that now?
A little bit more. You can.
A little bit more.
Yeah, to the left. That's fine with me. I don't know about the others.
Yeah, that's it.
Because my pictures come up on the right-hand side.
So that's 91, but they've got some that are only 71 square meters, but they're the 2-floor ones, I take it.
Yeah, the four 3-bedroom, 4-person. At least they're called 3 bedrooms rather than 2 bedrooms and a study.
Right, the 2-bedroom. The 2-bedroom. 3. No, that's 3-bedroom, isn't it? Three beds, 2 stories, 71, isn't it? 3 beds.
3 beds, 2-story. Yeah.
2-story is.
Oh, it's 2.5 height.
For 4 people, it's 84, and for 5 people, it's 93.
Okay, so they are below.
So they're way below.
Yeah. You'll see that these ones here are the shared ownership ones as well. They will be on the small side, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I notice there's no 2 beds in the actual private sale ones.
No.
That's 2 beds, 2-story. Hold on, I've got to go back to that. 2 beds, 2-story is 70 for 3 people and 79 for 4 people.
Yeah,
So
I don't think
if they're 3 people,
they're only intended for 3, I think.
Yeah, if they are, then they're just above it.
Yeah, they're not being very generous, are they?
Not at all, no. What's this 3-bedroom? What about the 4-bedroom? Oh no, it's 4-bedroom. What's the lowest? 410. 4-bedroom, for how many? See, they don't give the amount of people, do they? How many stories is that? 2.5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't give a 2.5, only 3. For 5 people, it's 97. 6 people is 106. So they're just above that. 7 people, I think there's one for 7 people, is 115. So they're below on that.
Pat, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at those Foxcoat ones, which are number 15 and 16. I'm actually surprised that highways have not objected because they're triple tandem parking. Now, on the Red Road side of things, that was something that the council objected to, or the planners objected to, having triple parking.
15 and 16, I am here.
Sorry, just the northern middle bit, yeah.
They're here.
Yeah, so you've got the garage and then 2 parking spaces.
Oh yeah, so it's where it says 16, where it's Liz is highlighting it there. Is that the garage then?
Sorry, I'm looking at her picture.
Yeah, that's the garage.
Yeah, that's the garage, yeah, and 2 parking spaces in front of it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so these are the parking spaces, and that's the garage here.
Now, normally highways don't like triple parking.
Hmm.
And it's just them 2, is it, John?
And well, where Liz is pointing now, so
15.
15 and also 12.
Yeah, they all look like that, don't they?
Can you take a note of all these, please, Vicky?
So it looks like they've moved the garage into the garden to give them that extra space. On
Yeah.
The extra space. Yeah.
In many ways, you think, well, why don't you put the houses a bit further back into the garden, put the parking space on the front?
Yeah. But I suppose they're trying to give them big gardens, as big as they can.
No,
with the space
make the houses bigger, Pat.
Yeah.
I suppose they're saying that this is the turning head here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying, because it's a private drive, isn't it, this bit?
Yeah, I'm surprised, but highways, in recent times, and planners are not happy about triple, tandem parking like that.
Well, highways have not commented on this new plans.
Yeah, they have. I think didn't they say? I think the latest one was they basically didn't object. Am I right? Is this the one I'm thinking of, or am I thinking about something else?
All I saw was the previous one.
No, the latest one dated 13th of August. Oh no, sorry, that's Highways England. Sorry, it's Highways England.
Right.
Sorry, not Suffolk Highways. Sorry, Pat. Yeah, Highways England. Okay.
We lost Pat.
We lost Pat again. Only over to you, mate, I think.
So what do we want to do then, basically?
I don't know if anyone's got any other comments, but I can bring any other documents up if you want.
Yeah.
It sounds like we are objecting, doesn't it?
Carter area. That's another thing that I'm.
Oh, we lost you, Pat.
Carter area's got 3-bedroom places there. Why is it called charter area and not a housing name?
Let's bring that back.
It's got 3-bedroom plus study bathrooms, 5-person, 2-story, and it's got a garage underneath as well. 83.
Talking about Pat?
15. The garage size is 83. 15.15 by 29.67. See, I've got no idea of the size of garages, what they should be, but they seem to be double garage, but one behind the other, if you know what I mean, on this charter house. Liz, can you get
Sorry,
that
which
up?
house are you talking about?
That's a bit further down the list.
What number is it, Pat? What house number?
What is it? Oh, that's character area, not charter. I'm having trouble seeing this because it's on my phone, there's small letters. It's character area. It should have up
Oh, what is it? A different document?
on the main one.
Garages should be 3 meters internal width.
Which one are you looking at, Pat? I was trying to bring it up.
I think it's a bit down.
Character areas plan. Is that what you were talking about?
No, it's not the one, Liz.
No.
Should have character area on it. I think it's near the end of the 10th of August, if I remember rightly.
The end of the 10th.
There it is, that's one.
Which one?
Where's it gone?
I just had one up. That's the character areas plan. That's the only one that's got character
there
areas
it is.
in it.
Down. No, I think you clicked the wrong one.
Oh.
Yeah, you got
This one or that one?
down a bit. Down. That's it. Up.
Street scenes.
Up.
Character areas.
There.
Yeah, that's the one I just opened. That's this one.
Oh, that is the one then.
Yeah. Which one were you talking about?
I must have put that down wrong. Because it shows a double house with a garage underneath.
There's one house that is 3 stories. I think
there it is. Yeah. Or
no,
is it? Where's the garage bit?
Well, these are quite high, but they're the 2.5 height, I think.
These are very, very tiny houses. These are. Oh.
You're not talking about the street scene one, Pat, are you?
Street scene.
One below, because that shows the parking underneath.
Let's see if I can bring the street scenes up. Where were they? Yeah. So yeah, these are street scenes.
Yeah, they're the ones. Look, you can see the cars going through them, but it's not. That is not the plan that I was looking at, because they double park, if you know what I mean, and they stick out. The car, they showed 2 cars, and one of them, the first one, was sticking out the other side into their garden. And that's why I sort of put down the size of them. John, do you know the size of garages? Garage sizes?
On phase 1, they were told they had to have a minimum of 3 meters wide.
So I don't really know, you know, if that's sort of part of planning, really.
These are the street scenes seem very tall facing the road, don't they?
Right, can we leave that then? Because we'll be all day, really.
Yeah.
The other one I've noticed is that the police, Suffolk Police, had the concern. for their design out of crime. If you can look at that, Liz, design
Which
out
one
of
was
crime.
that?
It's called.
Is it near the top?
No,
Or was it an old one?
There it is.
1741-903.
1st of July,
It
Liz.
is. Down a bit.
1st of July. Oh yeah.
Up a bit. Yeah. Up. Up a bit more.
Up a bit more.
Or is that it?
It's got
No,
a brief
up.
summary there. Have concerns.
There it is. I think they've done that, haven't they?
Yeah, because this was based on the old ones, wasn't it?
Mind you, they've done that. They've redesigned the rear parking, you know, in groups.
Yeah, going very quickly
Well, I
back
can
to.
understand the long access paths. Perhaps that was on the old design.
Yeah, I think it is, Pat, because they refer to plots 57. Yeah, it's definitely the old one because there is no plot 57 on this one.
Yeah, and it goes up to 104, 116, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Where there's a lot less
Yeah, I think
houses
this
on
is
this bit.
keep going up, Liz. I think this is mostly of the old design.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
historical, Pat.
They've still put it on the new.
No, don't forget, this is not a new application. This is a revised application, Pat.
On the latest one, haven't they? This
Yeah,
is
no,
1st of July they wrote
this
this.
is not a new application.
It's not the August one, though, is it?
No. Very quickly, go back to those ones where you saw the house, the parking underneath the thing. They're plots 13 and 14, where you're right that the parking is actually underneath the properties.
I don't think they've. I think they've resolved the police's one myself.
No, the police one's historical, Pat. It's finished.
And that's all. Is there any other comments at all?
No, I was just telling you about the parking underneath the houses. Those 13 and 14, they're putting two tandem parking.
No.
Can you hear us, Pat?
I don't think you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
No.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Sorry, I'm not showing the screen now. Let's just go back on it. Did you want to see anything?
Pat, hear us? I don't think Pat can hear us.
Pat's gone again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Pat?
Come and speak up. Say yes.
Hello, Pat.
I can hear Pat.
Yeah, I can't hear you. That's the trouble now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Let's look at that. John, did you want me to bring up those picture of those?
Oh, no, I was
ones?
just showing you. It's if you go down, it's only the ones underneath the. Did I just say 13, 14?
13, 14.
Yeah, those ones. They're actually, the parking is actually underneath the buildings.
Yeah.
They're slightly outside. I don't know how that comes up, you know, 2 vehicles underneath the building from a fire point of view, but that's the building regulation, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the only comments I would make, Pat, is that the street scene onto the main road, or one of the main roads, they do seem to be very tall. Personally, I'm not sure I like the aesthetics of that, but you know, I don't suppose we could say much about that.
Well, actually, there is on the street scene number 2. What is that one down the bottom left-hand corner? Come on, Oldswater and Oldswater Corner, plots 3839. It's got a very tall roof line, and it looks to me like it might actually have 4 stories. I thought were we happy with 4 stories? Or were you guys happy with 4 stories rather?
No.
They're
And
calling it 3-story.
Bottom left. Bottom left. What, that one?
That one?
Yeah.
They call it 3-story because obviously the roof line is above it. But I see what you mean. The roof seems quite high, as does the chimney.
I'm just having a look at the old, what's it called? Oldswater. Oldswater, there you go.
Yeah, they're the 4 beds, I think.
Okay, hipped roof, yeah.
The same as this one on here.
More plans, there we go.
And that one.
Okay, yeah, they're not going into the roof. Okay, no, okay.
Mm.
It just looked like there was a window, but it's not really, is it? It looks like it might be a, what do they call them, fenestration.
Yeah. But they do seem quite tall, narrow buildings, but, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you get more properties on the same square meters, don't you? Okay. Got Pat back or not?
Is Pat there?
I don't think so.
Not sure quite what's happened there. He's still.
I know it's coming back.
Actually on.
I'm going to close some of these documents. I've got loads open. Whoops.
Well, you probably stop screen sharing.
Yeah. Stop share for a moment.
So, just
Okay, Vicky, I'm back
okay. So just recapping.
on the phone. Your laptop just keeps freezing all the time.
Okay. Just recapping, the only really thing that I've got is the tandem parking that highways generally don't like to see that, but highways have not commented yet. That's the tandem highway on 12, 15 and 16 at Foxcott. And there was some talk about room sizes, but I think we kind of didn't go any further with that because they all very nearly met all the minimum standards. So are we objecting? Are we commenting on anything else, or is it just objecting on the tandem parking?
Any comments, anyone?
I think we should comment on the tandem parking, but I don't think I personally wouldn't want to object. Yeah, hopefully they can come to some agreement with highways, but other than that, I'm reasonably happy that the rooms aren't that big. But we've fought that argument time and time again with these type of developments, until the district council adopts minimum space standards, I think we're on a bit of a sticky wicket. But
Alan?
Are you with us, Pat?
Back again. Yeah.
Are you
Alan?
back? Thank you.
Sorry.
I thought we had identified when we had the table of sizes up at the top of one of the documents, didn't we identify a couple at 71 dwelling size? And I think Pat pinned that down as being undersized. Was that 71 when it should have been 80?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so I think that needs to be in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That we're fairly sure we know what we're talking about with that one.
Yeah.
I think just to clarify, I think that was the affordable housing units were the ones that were appeared to be undersized. And I think also, Pat, I just remind Pat, you mentioned about, I know your favourite subject, charging points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the numbers 1, 2 to 9, I think it was, because they're across the drive, you know, across the road. They're not actually next to the houses or in near the houses.
Okay. The affordable housing units, there's 71 square metres instead of 80.
Hold on, I've got it here somewhere. 84 instead of 84.
For what is that, Pat? 84 for?
The one that's they said was 71.
Yeah, I know, but what 84 has to be specified for a certain number of occupants, doesn't it?
That's for 4 people. Hold on.
I've got it here, Pat. I can read it out. I've got it on my computer.
Right. Okay.
So 3-bedroom, 4-person on a 2-storey dwelling, 84 is the space.
That's what Vicky needed.
Yeah. And a 3-bedroom on a 5-person, which I think is the affordable ones, ranges between 93 and 99 on a between, because they don't do 2.5, it's either 2 stories or 3 stories.
So do we have a plot number for the one that didn't meet 71, or is it all the affordable housing units?
The affordable housing, the Hopton, was only a 2-bed. So I thought
That's where I was getting confused.
Yeah. The Hopton's a 2-bed, so surely that would have met the standard.
Well, it said it's 7 for a 2-bedroom, 4-person is 79 for a 2-story.
Oh, okay.
And if it's a 3-story, then there's no, it's no.
No, it's only a 2-story. The Hopton is a 2-story.
Right. So that should be 79.
Yeah.
So it's the Hopton one that we're.
Yeah, that they're two.
Yeah, but John mentioned that Hopton is not affordable, is it?
No, it's rent for rent.
Rent.
But no, the shared ownership ones, the Moseley is only 71 square metres.
Mm.
And they should be 4-person should be 84.
84.
Or 5-person 93.
Yeah. And these are 4-person, those ones. And the Carlton is not far off it. It's 91 compared to 90. Oh no, 94 compared. Sorry, 91 compared to 90. Whatever I just said. Whatever you just said, Pat.
93.
93. Between 93 and 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's 2.5, which is very confusing because we haven't got one with 2.5.
Shall I send you the numbers, Vicky?
Yes, please, because I'm totally confused.
Yeah, well, I'll just do a screen on my one.
It's not the standards that I'm getting confused with. It's the ones that you're objecting to, whether they're 2-story or 3-story, because you're saying that they're meeting the standard. They're not meeting the standards, but then that's for a 2-story. But some of these are the 3-story, so that's where I was getting the confusion.
Okay, yeah, the rental one is
the ones
2-story.
that we're complaining about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the confusion, Vicky. I think is 2.5-story. They're giving out, but by rights that should be counted as a 3-story as far as rooms are concerned, shouldn't it?
Okay. Well, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, What table are you using for these space standards? Because I'm looking at the local government website, and it's saying that for a 2-bedroom, 3-person, a 2-story dwelling should have 70 square meters.
Correct.
4-person, 2-story should be 79. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but we're talking about the 3-bedroom ones, aren't we, Tony?
Right, so you got everything, Vicky, hopefully?
Not at all, no. If someone could just put that in an email, what you're clarifying, that the ones that you're, because I am so confused about the 2-story, the 2.5-story, the 3-story. So I just need a clarification on the exact ones that you're complaining about. Sorry, I've written down all these figures.
You can sort of just point out to Vicky when you send her that size minimum space standard.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
John. Okay.
Right, so other than that, it's the tandem parking and
the
electric charging points. Okay.
Yeah.
So were you going to mention anything about the streets thing? Because Liz mentioned that.
I haven't got anything on that.
Right. Okay.
Is anyone else? Hold on. Is anyone else? No.
Okay.
No.
Now, Tony mentioned that he didn't want to actually object. He just wanted to note that we're complaining, or are you objecting to that? Them things, or are we just noting them comments? Are we just sending them comments but not objecting?
Anyone want to speak on that? I can't see Tony up on my phone.
I think, yeah, should we not object? If we're saying the standards aren't being met, should we object to that? Although I know we haven't adopted the standards, have we, as an authority? But yeah, if they're coming below those standards, then I think we perhaps should object on those the sizes of the.
So we are objecting.
Well, I propose that we object.
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
That's what I need.
That's all I needed. Is someone, right, and Liz second it. Right. Okay, all those in favour, please show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If we lose anybody else, we won't be quorate. Oh yeah, we will. 3. We've still got 3. So.
Oh, is Tony gone then? No wonder I couldn't find him.
Yeah, Tony's left the meeting.
Right. Okay.
So we've still got 3.
On then. Right. Next on the agenda is
1051 Beech Grove, 47
Yep.
Beech Grove.
Beech Grove.
Can I just? Oh, sorry, Alan may do it actually.
Well, I was just going to say that at the time when Vicky compiled the agenda, this was a reconsultation, but on the 28th, which is only 3 or 4 days ago, it's now been pushed through, isn't it? There's a decision notice, it's been approved, so there's nothing to talk about, is there? We can strike it from the agenda. I propose that we strike it from the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what confused me when I saw it. I thought, hang on a minute, it's been approved.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. Right, okay. Hold on, let's get you back up again. Do we need a vote on that, Vicky?
Alan proposed it.
Oh, okay. I second it then.
Thank you.
Right, all those in favour, please show. Okay, it's carried. Right, next one on the agenda is mobile fast, which is DC 2012-21, mobile fast food peeling area, which is in the back garden by the back fence, which is a small sort of like a wooden hut. Is there any comments on that? Anyone? John Burns, Councillor Burns?
Yeah, so Pat, it was interesting. So I noticed Councillor Mason said he supports the application, but there's quite a few residents who live in and about the area who are not very happy about this. They haven't been, I understand they may not have been consulted by planning. I complained to Environmental Health because the business set up the business. This is a retrospective application. And although they made the buildings they had there originally were for storage of products for their shop. Now they're actually, at the moment, they're stating that it's for peeling spuds at the moment. But who knows, you know, they're now providing a fish and chip service from the premises and on the mobile premises as well. And people are very concerned about the potential for smells. There's also one resident who hasn't commented, which I'm a bit surprised about, because they told me the other day that they've had light blocked out of their house by this building being put up. So I don't know whether the planners have actually contacted people locally, or because it's retrospective, they're just saying, yeah, this is fine. I mean, it may well be good, but it's all being done completely about face, if you know what I mean. Thank you.
Thanks for that, John. Is there any other comments, Councillor Smith? And then Councillor Brown.
I wasn't sure, when you say they've got a mobile fish and chip shop, that's not part of their current store, is it? Haven't they just got a shop at the moment, I think?
No, they've got a franchise, but they've got a mobile fish and chip shop which goes around town, but the supply of it is done now. And I understand on a Saturday, I think it is, they actually park the vehicle alongside their shop and serve from there.
Oh, I see.
Environmental Health have told me they're quite happy with it. But that's got nothing to do with this application, because I'm actually also complaining about the fact they're driving around our streets with gas and lit fires with somebody stood in the back of the van with all this hot fat running around. But Environmental Health said, oh, that's all right, as long as it's less than 20 miles an hour. Well, you know, but that's another matter. But this is actually to do with the supply of the stuff. They put the building up already. And as I say, somebody contacted me the other day and said, well, they blocked out the light to my house. But they didn't appear that they'd actually been consulted at all. So I don't know who has been consulted. Thank you.
Councillor Brown?
Yeah, it was just, I was going to raise the environmental health questions. You know, if they're, you know, commercially peeling spuds and such like, are environmental health happy with it? But it seems like John's potentially answered that question. Also, I don't know about noise, nuisance and such like. To be fair, if I was a neighbour, I wouldn't be too, you know, happy with you know, that being carried on a commercial basis. You know, next door, you know, you live in a house for residential purposes. It's different having an office or something like that, but actually carrying out that sort of work in a residential area, you know, I wouldn't be too happy with it myself.
To be honest, I didn't think about parking spaces. If there are people working there, what about their parking spaces as well?
Correct.
Councillor Stitchcombe? Thank you, Tony.
I wasn't very impressed by the planning statement that accompanied the application generally. I mean, it was a bit cheeky what it was claiming in various places, like describing the bottom of the garden where this building is as unused urban space. I mean, that is a bit cheeky, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, what's urban about the bottom of someone's garden, really? It's, you know, it's in a town, yeah, but it's that sounds like it's a piece of brownfield construction, and you think, well, that's really good use, you know, a little industrial unit on a piece of brownfield site, but it isn't. It's next to, it's not actually immediately adjacent to number 73, is it? It's next to number 73's garage with a 400 mil gap, well, that's not very handy for maintaining an external wall, is it? How are you going to get a builder down a 400mm gap and doing anything useful, you know, ever? So it's, I don't know, it should never have been put up like that, really. It should, you know, it should have had proper consideration, but, you know, retrospectively, I'm sort of inclined to nod it through, but that's just my opinion.
Thank you for that. Councillor Burns?
Sorry, just to clarify Tony's thing about environmental health, the email I had from environmental health confirmed that they had not actually visited the site due to COVID. They'd only spoken to the applicant on the phone. Now, whether they've since been down there, I don't know, considering the environmental health officer actually lives in the same road. I don't know whether that's the case, but certainly the email I had, because I wrote to environmental health, nobody responded for about 2 weeks, and eventually I got hold of the director and said, can you get somebody to answer me? And then they never actually answered anyway. It came back through that director, which I was not very happy about. I have subsequently seen the environmental health officer who said, oh yes, I say there's not a problem, but if they haven't actually been there, and he never confirmed to me he had. I'm, you know, I don't know how you. It's a bit like, have the planning officers even been there? I'm not even certain they've done that either. So,
what? See, the thing is, I don't know if they're using boiling water, if they're using a machine, all sorts of things. Yeah. You know, there's all them sort of things that really should be looked at.
Yeah.
For safety of the person that's working there, or you know, or it could be some sort of explosion, or I don't know. It's really peculiar when you've got something like that working in a built-up residential area. It's, you know, they should have more. They should look at it more carefully, even than on the industrial estate. Even though they should do it on industrial estate, look at it carefully, but even more so when it's a residential area. Is there anyone else wants to speak on this at all?
Yeah, if I can just say something, Pat.
Yeah, Councillor Smith.
Just based on what you've just been saying, could we perhaps not object until, well, we could either object on the basis of what we've been told by John and others, but we could just say we need more information about what actual industry is taking place. I mean, potato peeling, as you say, could just be someone sitting there peeling a few potatoes, or it could be machinery involved. So perhaps we could object on that basis that we haven't got enough information either.
Councillor Brown and Councillor Stinchcombe.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, I'd actually like to propose that we object. We just haven't got the information. We can't prove something like this. They just say it could be, we don't know how much of commercial operation there is. It doesn't look like it. We haven't got any report from environmental health at all. We don't actually know what impact it's having on the neighbours. We don't know what impact it's having on parking. So I think all we can do is object, and hopefully they'll get that information back, and it'll come back to us. But as it presently stands, we have got nowhere near enough information to prove something like this. So I'm proposing objection.
Yeah, I'd just like to agree with Tony on that.
Okay.
Second, Tony, on that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm just going to close this. My favour.
So we had a proposed from Tony Brown, seconded Liz Smith. Is that all in favour? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That's carried. Right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Because I can't hear you again. So I'm going to go. I'm going to, right, the next one on the agenda is the last one, which is DC 20-1231. Insertion of one window to front elevation. Any comments on that?
Councillor Stinchcombe?
I'm perfectly happy with it. Number 10 has done exactly what is being. Number 10 down the road has done exactly what this is proposing. So I'm perfectly happy that it's a neutral. I'd like to propose that we neutral it.
I'll second that as well. Because it seems to be in keeping with the others.
Okay. That isn't the last one. We have got a number 5, Pat.
Have we voted on that?
Sorry, is that there's a proposed Alan Smith, second Liz Smith, all in favour? Got 4.
Yeah, we got number 5 over the page, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we seem to have lost the chair again.
You're back again.
You're back.
Yeah. The laptop I'm twice, so
Turn one of them off, Pat.
I might get feedback. The laptop.
Yeah, shut one down
I can't
quickly.
hear you.
We can hear you over and over and over again.
Sorry. Right, the next one.
You're in an echo chamber, Pat. Turn something off.
Yeah. Right, the trouble is.
That's better. We're in Queen Street now, Pat.
Right, the next one is Matt's to report.
No, we're in Queen Street.
Matt's to report.
Pat, we've got item 5 in the list.
No.
Pat, Pat can't hear us.
Councillor Burns? No?
I don't think you can hear me, Pat.
Okay.
Pat, you can't hear us.
Date of next meeting?
No. we can't hear you.
Colin, can we message Pat and tell him that the meeting's still going?
Yeah.
Just coming back in on his other device.
Okay.
Right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, it's you couldn't hear us, I don't think.
Can you hear us, Pat?
Can't hear you.
Hello, Pat.
Tony, do you want to do this until
Yeah.
Pat can come in properly?
Can do. Yeah.
Pat, can you hear us?
Let's open it up again.
So it's
Yeah, okay.
item 5, 1321, 25 to 27 Queen Street. Any
Yeah.
comments, please?
Yeah, one number window and one number door to front elevation, Mr. IPEC. Has anyone got any comments?
We've got Liz and John that wants to make comments.
Yeah, so yeah, Liz, please.
Yeah, I could see it was just for the actual the window and the door for the property next to the smart bar, isn't it? Although I think it's probably all part of the same complex.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was before, but I think Dave told me it was a shop before, or a cafe or something.
Yeah, Ellis's Bakery. Yeah.
So they're not actually changing usage or anything, are they? They're just changing the shop front,
Yes.
making it look more like a shop than it is currently. Yeah, I've got no objection to that.
John.
Basically, they want to put a restaurant in there.
Yeah.
That's why they're closing. They're going back to what Ellis's used to do, have a little thing, but they obviously want us to put up a fish and chip little restaurant in there, I think.
Yeah.
I assume that's what they're doing anyway, or burger place or something like that. And that's why. So the interesting thing I did notice, they appeared to be following disabled side of things and actually putting a slope in there, which was something I've never seen in most of our high street, actually shopkeepers trying to cater for the disabled.
Yeah. No, I fully support this and welcome their investment, and wish them all good wishes for doing this. Yeah, personally.
Second that.
Who seconded that? Sorry.
Me.
Bruce. Thank you.
Does that tip us over into what's more positive than neutral? I'm sorry, my brain is going. Yeah, are we actually supporting it because we're so enthusiastic about it, or just commenting that we're neutral and commenting that we really like their approach to accessibility?
Anyone that's investing in our High Street or Queen Street is, you know, in such a way, especially, you know, providing a restaurant, etc. I think we should, you know, show our support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the proposal is to support and mention that in particular. Yes.
Yeah. Can we have a proposer for that? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
I'm
you.
proposing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You proposed it.
I'm proposing
Bruce
that.
seconded it.
Bruce seconded it. Okay.
And I'm voting for it.
Yeah. Out of hands, please.
All those in favour?
Thank you.
That's unanimous. Yeah.
Right. I'm
Right.
leaving
My
it to you,
agenda
Tony.
now.
Even though I'm back, I'll leave it to you.
Okay, right.
Right.
I'm trying to drag the document back up again.
Matters to report.
That's
Really.
report is item 7.
All right, okay. Is there any matters to report?
Yes,
John.
Yes.
can't go without reporting something.
Yeah, exactly.
Very quickly, Pat and I had an email about the naming of the roads in the old Westfield school site.
Yes.
And they came up with a highly original Westfield Close and something called West Mill Way.
Okay.
Westfield Close, I've gone back to the young lady who does this at West Suffolk and said I thought that would be very confusing because it's nowhere near Westfield School now. And West Mill Way, I said, well, the only mill that I knew anywhere up that area was way over near Ratting Road, the old mill that was knocked down, I don't know, 50 years ago, was it, or something like that? Yeah. Or the remnants of it. And I said, if anything, if you're going to have it up there, you should be called East Mill Way because it's to the east of that mill. But I couldn't understand why. I told Barley Holmes through West Suffolk, through Davina House, a year ago, that don't call it anything to do with Westfield because it's going to be confusing. So there's been no actual request to the town council, as far as I know, looking at Vicky, to actually name anything. But I said to Pat, or I copied Pat and said, I think we at least ask you guys what you thought.
Sorry, we were approached.
How are we?
At the same time, but you had already let people know, so I didn't bother passing that on.
Okay. All right, so okay. There you go.
Yeah. Can I say, Tony, can I speak?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with John. It is confusing. There was a windmill at the where they've just converted the elderly people's home at the end of Millfield Way. There was a mill there, but they took it down during the Second World War. But that's the other end. That's, you know, the estate, which is way out. You know, I entirely agree that it's confusing. And I think you're quite right. It's near the railway walk, so it should be something to do with the railway, shouldn't it? Really, and I entirely agree with you on that.
Yeah, yeah, Alan. I think
I was just going to say, let's have a railway close terrace, close, avenue. I don't know, whatever. We haven't got one yet, have we? We've had a station road, haven't we? We still have a station road.
Yeah.
Up the other end, we can have a railway. Could be called Walk, couldn't it? No, that would be confusing. Anyway, a railway-based name.
Yeah.
So can I come back?
Yeah, John.
Sorry, yeah, just very quickly. I forgot I mentioned this to Pat that something to do with the railway or something like that. But I didn't know whether anyone could come up with anything. I suppose if Jason was here, he'd probably come up with something good as well. But any other railway-related thing? I did think of Stour, but then I thought that's going to be confusing with Stour Valley Road. But was there anything else to do with railways I could think of?
Yeah, we could put it to the family history group. I'm sure they would come up with some excellent names. I think, I would like to see that suggested. To be fair, ask the family history group if they've got any ideas of Haverhill Railway related names.
Well, there was a guy who actually built the railway. Can't think of his name. I came across it when I was at the record office.
Yeah.
But it might be worthwhile looking at whatever his name was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't Beeching, of course.
No. No. Okay. What do you want to do about that then? Shall we ask the family history group if they've got any railway related, Haverhill Railway related names? Would we be able to do that, Vicky?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was all for me.
Any other points that anyone wants to raise? Right. Date of the next meeting.
22nd.
Yeah, 22nd of September on the Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Right, thank you everyone. Sorry about me with the laptop. As John says, I'll have to invest in a new one. It's just a pain in the side. My phone's much better than that.
They've moved on from coal-powered laptops now.
Diesel. It's diesel now.
Right. Okay. See you on the 21st.
Well, are we not going to move on, Chair, to other business now? We've got the hangover from the last planning consultation.
Yeah, we've got
half an hour.
Yeah.
Quick half an hour if we've got the stamina.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to go at this point, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Bye, Bruce.
Yeah. Okay, Bruce.
See ya.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Chair,
Are we stopping the live stream?
Yeah.